Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So we're diving into the world of tennis today, specifically the career of, well, a legend, Roger Federer.
Ah, yes, Federer, the Maestro.
Exactly. And, you sent over some stats about his career, and honestly, they're pretty mind-blowing. I'm really excited to unpack all of this and see what we can uncover.
Yeah, I think we're going to find some really interesting stuff here. Should be fun.
Definitely. So maybe the best place to start is, well, got to start with those Grand Slams, right?
Of course, yeah.
20 Grand Slam titles. Wow. Can you even put that into context for us?
Okay, so winning even one Grand Slam is like the pinnacle for a tennis player.
Right.
But 20.
It's insane.
Only 3 other men in the entire Open era have done that. It puts him in a league of his own, honestly.
Yeah, it's a whole other level of achievement. And it's not just the number, right? It's also which ones he won, how many times.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Wimbledon. 8 Wimbledon titles. That's got to be some kind of record.
It is. It is a record. And it really speaks to his mastery on grass.
Grass courts.
Exactly. That fast surface, the low bounces, it's a different game on grass.
So what was it about Federer's game that made him like the king of grass?
Well, his style was just perfectly suited to it. Aggressive serve and volley, incredible footwork. He could cover the court so quickly, and his shot-making ability was unbelievable. He just seemed to have an answer for everything.
Yeah, you watch those Wimbledon highlights, and it's like poetry in motion.
Exactly.
And he didn't just dominate on grass, though.
No, not at all. 6 Australian Open titles. That's on hard courts. A totally different surface.
Wow. So he could adapt his game to pretty much any surface, huh?
Precisely. He wasn't just a one-trick pony. He understood how to play on different surfaces, adjust his strategy, and still come out on top.
And he won 5 U.S. Opens in a row.
No.
That's crazy. What was going on during those years, 2004 to 2008, that made him so unstoppable?
Honestly, I think it was a perfect storm. His game was at its absolute peak. His confidence was sky high. And mentally, he was just unbreakable. He just never seemed to crack under pressure.
Mental toughness is huge in tennis, isn't it?
Oh, it's everything. You're out there on your own, No teammates to rely on. You got to be able to handle the pressure.
Totally. And then there's the French Open. Clay courts. Everyone knows that wasn't his, favorite surface.
True. Clay was definitely his toughest challenge.
But he still won it.
He did. 2009. And that completed his career Grand Slam. That's winning all 4 major tournaments.
Which is amazing. So even on a surface that maybe didn't suit him perfectly, he still found a way to win. What does that say about his, his determination?
I think it shows his dedication to mastering every aspect of the game. Clay requires a different kind of game, more patience, strategic shot placement, longer rallies. He had to really adapt and work for that one.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered the Grand Slams, but he won so many other tournaments too, right?
Oh yeah, tons. 28 ATP Masters 1000 titles, for example.
ATP Masters 1000. I'm not super familiar with, all the different levels of tournaments. What are those exactly?
Think of them as the next tier down from Grand Slams. Still, super prestigious, attract the top players, but held throughout the year at different locations.
Okay, got it.
Winning those consistently, that's another sign of a truly great player.
And Federer has 28 of them. To go along with, wait a minute, 103 ATP titles in total, over 2 decades of playing at the top level. How is that even possible?
It's incredible, right? And a big part of it was his commitment to fitness. The guy was a machine. He took care of his body, which allowed him to play at such a high level for so long.
Right. So many athletes, their bodies just can't keep up after a while.
Exactly. But Federer, he stayed in amazing shape. And he was always evolving, always working on his game, never got complacent. And that mental toughness, it never went away. He was a competitor until the very end.
Yeah, that really comes through in everything we've talked about. So all this success, this was all in singles, right? What about team events? Did he play in those at all?
He did. And he had success there too. The Davis Cup, for example, the biggest international team competition in men's tennis. He actually led Switzerland to their first ever Davis Cup title in 2014.
Wow. So even in a team setting, he could lead his country to victory.
Absolutely. Shows you his leadership skills, his ability to inspire his teammates.
And didn't he win some Olympic medals too?
He did. Gold in doubles with Stan Wawrinka in 2008.
Ah, the Swiss duo.
Exactly. And then silver in singles at the 2012 Olympics.
So Grand Slams, Masters 1000 titles, Davis Cup, Olympic medals. I mean, what stands out to me is just the incredible consistency throughout his career.
Yeah, that's really the hallmark of a true champion, isn't it? To stay at the top for that long, you have to be incredibly consistent.
And speaking of staying at the top, The guy was ranked #1 in the world for, get this, 310 weeks, including a crazy 237 consecutive weeks.
It's insane. It's just unheard of. It takes so much, not just physically, but mentally. The pressure to stay on top week after week, year after year. It's incredible that he was able to handle that for so long.
It's almost superhuman.
Yeah, it really is.
And it wasn't just about winning, right? Federer was also known for his style of play, the way he moved on the court, the shots he hit, the way he just seemed to glide effortlessly.
Right, that's why they called him the Maestro. His game was beautiful to watch. It was a blend of power, precision, and yeah, like you said, just this elegance that you don't see very often.
Especially that one-handed backhand. That was always so iconic.
Absolutely. It's a dying art in modern tennis, but Federer made it look so easy. And his forehand, it was a weapon. He could hit winners from anywhere on the court.
So we've talked about his achievements, his style of play, but it feels like Federer's impact goes beyond all that, right?
Oh, definitely. He's been a great ambassador for tennis, always conducted himself with class and sportsmanship, even in the most intense moments. And he's done a lot of charitable work off the court as well, a true role model.
Absolutely. So where do you think he ranks among the all-time greats, not just in tennis, but in all of sports? I know it's a tough question, but I'm curious to hear your take.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. It's always hard to compare across eras, you know? But when you look at Federer's dominance in his sport, his longevity, his global impact, I mean, he's got to be up there with the best of them.
Yeah, I think you're right. What a career, what a legacy. This has been a really fascinating deep dive, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore, so many stories about his journey from junior player to global icon.
Right. And I think one of the interesting things to think about is how will he be remembered, 10, 20 years from now? What will his lasting impact be on the sport?
That's a great question. And I think it's one that tennis fans and sports fans in general will be debating for years to come. So for all of you listening, I encourage you to keep digging into Federer's story. Keep watching those highlights and see what you discover.
Yeah, his career is a treasure trove of amazing moments and inspiring achievements.
Definitely. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
It was a pleasure.